bring your awareness down into your body for a second and just rest there. Pull up everybody in your life that you've ever felt is more powerful than you, better than you, more something than you, more enlightened, more, I don't know, better looking. Everybody that you can think of that made you feel in some way like you weren't good enough or there's something wrong. Just bring them up. Including bullies, dad, mom. Feel into your inner body and say, I don't hate them. Feel the body. If it's doing something, that's a yes. It's just unconscious. I don't hate them. Feel into the body. That movement of the body, if there is any, is trying to tell you that you do. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. You can't go to it through the mind. The mind will try to tell you that you don't to protect you. Feel into the body and trust any movement. I don't hate them. You feel that? Some of you? It doesn't matter whether you have anger, hurt, or sadness, repression as your primary. We can't be the authority for ourselves. And that's where I want to go. Because we're holding on, a lot of us, to what we call hate, but it's actually just keeping us safe from actually feeling and expressing what's true for us in our relationships, which is more like anger, hurt, sadness, fear, and shame, guilt, but not really hate. We don't really hate people. I'm here to tell you, because I used to have that. I didn't know I hated people, because to awareness, there's just the awareness, and then there was chronic pain. And in the chronic pain, I hated people. But in my awareness, I didn't know that. It's just I was in pain. So I had to go through this whole thing of recognizing that the hate kept me safe from feeling and expressing anger to people's face. It was just safer to hate them from a distance, the people that had hurt me. And that's how I stayed disconnected at the somatic level. If you don't think you have buried hate, just stick around, because sometimes it's so buried. It's a safety mechanism, I've learned, just like shame. Shame keeps us safe from getting to the buried emotions. We're ashamed of them. And we're ashamed of ourselves for having them. That's all buried. But authority is where I want to go here. Because I want you to pull up now everybody that you see as an authority in your life. Government, teachers, friends who seem to be more, they know it all or whatever. And feel down into your body, especially where you tend to hold energy. I don't hate them. Feel your body. I don't hate them. If you're wondering what your body's doing, say this. Is this energy saying yes or no? Just listen. I don't hate them. It may not say I hate them, but you can intuit by listening and trusting your body. If there's energy, you hate them. It's buried. Now, that makes sense, right? They're the authorities. We don't like them, right? Some of us. Well, that also comes from not being able to feel and express what's true in our relationships, in our everyday relationships, loved ones. We think of it this way. We can't trust ourselves. We can't be our own authority in our relationships. Some of us can't express anger. Some of us can't express hurt, sadness. So we cannot trust ourselves. Not being able to be the authority in our lives and in our relationships, then when we see authority, it's a trigger, because they can do what we can't. They can speak and say things that we can't. They can feel and express things that we can't. They seem to know things that we can't, and it makes us feel lacking or deficient. And that's the repression. Because if you have to hold back what's true for you, you're forced to identify with what's false. A sense of deficiency. Like there's something wrong with you. That you can't be that authority. And that maybe even it's scary to truly be the authority for your own experience. Of course it is. You have emotional repression. If you found hate there, that's it. there's a fear of feeling and expressing anger or sadness or hurt or whatever in your personal relationships, right? And so that hate is there to protect you from it. It's there to protect you from actually benefiting from authority that could help you. Not all authority is bad, but when you have trauma, kind of all authority is a little bit bad. It can be. Or we can like overly praise authority, like teachers and stuff coming from trauma, wanting to get their love and approval or whatever. If you can see this, at least with your mind, knowing that you did go into your body and find the hate, and I'm taking you to these other places without you going there yet. You've yet to see perhaps that this buried hate is about not being able to feel and express what's true for you, and that the authority issue is coming from that same repression. You may have some consciousness of it. Many people don't have much at all. They just know they don't like authority. They don't know it comes from the buried emotions. So basically, the shadow towards authority will go away when you're able to feel and express what's true for you in your relationships. And that issue with authority gets in the way here because me and Dan are trying to help you through that repression. And your system doesn't want it, so it can shadow out negative or positive things towards us, which just keep you safe from the buried stuff. And then you will not feel and express what's true for you in your relationships. You may even avoid the repression and inquiry, bypass. And then the issue with authority, since we could help you with that, keeps you from reversing the repression. And I did it myself. I literally cut myself off from the authority that I needed to hear that I had a repression. You know, I needed to find other authority, like the science, the trauma researchers, Ken Wilber, Alan Gordon, Dr. Sarno. I had to deal with my authority issue by letting go of some of the teachers that weren't helping me see the repression. And I just want to invite some of you who have had authority issues to turn towards this work. Bring your authority shadows to me and Dan. We'll set boundaries. Like, we won't just let you like throw everything on us because we're beings. We can speak up for ourselves. But come one, come all, because there's no way to get free unless we just deal with this. And it's mom and dad stuff, shadowed here, shadowed everywhere. Don't like authority. That keeps you safe. And it keeps you from embodying presence, because it's the repression that creates the shadow. When you shadow it out towards us and you came here to learn this work, you sabotage yourself. Don't kill us until you reverse the repression. See that? If you do, you came here wanting to do the work, and so you're just sabotaging yourself. You don't need to like us. It's all about you. Use whatever you have towards us, anger, hurt, fear, love, praise, to point it back to the repression that creates it. And if anybody else tells you anything else, they're not being clear with you, because it's all projection. And we have tools to get to the root of it now. You don't have to sit here in the middle of the path or the beginning and just hate one of us or be angry or hurt and not know how to move through it, or just be really enamored with us and not know how to move through it, because all of that is helpful on the path. You can capitalize on all of it if you're earnest. So I'll leave you with this. Earnestness for me is, the difference is like this. It's like coming to this work and being either having a positive or a negative shadow towards the work, like either liking it a whole lot or not liking it, or being really checked out around it, like apathetic, which also keeps us safe. Like once you see your response to the work and to me and Dan, if you're earnest, what earnestness isn't is when you see your shadows come up and you don't process it, or you don't learn how to, and you keep yourself stuck. But earnestness is to go ahead and have those shadows and to use those to take you to the repression and to learn the skills that you need to get there so you can end the suffering. And that's the difference. We have a new domain where you can just go and enter the work now, called repressiontest.com. So anytime you want, just go to repressiontest.com, take our somatic test. I want to say just a couple of things before I go. When you take that test, the way I see it is I really don't have any energy on whether you come here or not. I've checked into it. You might want to find out whether you want to be here. But what the way I want to open this up for you, when you take that test, we're going to put you on the newsletter. I'm going to tell you everything. No hiding. You're going to receive resources, suggestions. There are different cost levels to that. If you don't have a lot of finances, go low. Go to the members area. Go find the work. It's like you can afford that. Most people can afford that. If you can't afford that, reach out to us at support@killaby.com. If you can't afford that kind of lower monthly thing, explain to us the issue so we can at least consider it. We may not give you the hardship there, but we want to, if somebody genuinely has hardship, I think I want to hear that. But look at the other resources. And sometimes you don't know where to go. Nobody's going to give you this work for free. If you come asking, I'll just tell you, it's not going to happen. But there are different price levels. And sometimes you don't know where to go. That's what I'm learning. People just don't know. And so a clarity call with me, I don't bite. You'll actually probably like me. I mean, I'm not a mean person. I've done anger repression work. I don't store it. I like people now. It's weird. I don't think I ever did before at some level, but I really do. Just come talk to me and the most that I'm going to do in that clarity call is ask you questions about where you're at with this work and what you're looking for and what you can afford and what you can't. And I'm going to direct you there. And sometimes you just don't know when you get here, and a clarity call is the answer. Please don't schedule the clarity call unless there's a certain level of seriousness. Like, don't just, schedule the call just to talk to me. Don't schedule the call to tell me about your inquiries that you're developing you want me to consider, anything like that. It's just if you're earnest about the work and you have a certain level of seriousness, I'll talk to you and I want to help you get to where you need to go. Because I noticed that with repression and trauma, people feel overwhelmed. They don't know where to go. Their system's trying to keep them safe. And so just taking that first step is hard. If you don't see the resources that you need in the newsletters that come to you, then reach out for a clarity call. And I think I'll be able to get you to where you need to go. Don't forget, repressiontest.com. See ya.